Good evening, Stevens Point. I'm Milica Mitrovic.
And I'm Jen Richardson.
This week on SPTV News, voters swarmed to the polls for the Wisconsin primary that happened this past Tuesday. The UWSP hockey team came back to a warm celebration, and 90 FM's annual trivia is only a week away.
All this and more when we return.
This past Wednesday, the Tar Sand Tour came by Stevens Point to inform students about the dangers of pipelines. Laura Campo has more on the story.
After last year's successful event, the Tar Sands Tour was back on campus this past Wednesday in the TNR building to inform students about the dangers of pipelines by bringing in speakers and workshops.
So Enbridge is a company, the world's largest pipeline company, and they've just recently proposed this expansion project where they want to push 3 times the amount of tar sands through Wisconsin than what was proposed to be in Keystone's pipeline. So it's kind of wild to think about how Keystone seemed to be this massive pipeline out west, but actually Wisconsin is kind of the new front lines.
Stevens Point was the last stop of the tour, which had already gone to 8 different UW campuses.
So the idea of this tour is to bring this message, pretty much what I told you in a nutshell, to different campuses across Wisconsin and build a tar sands resistance network, specifically with a focus on the youth and the students in each of these campuses in hopes to shut it down.
The event was also being live streamed for those who could not attend in campuses in Platteville and Oshkosh. For SPTV News, I'm Laura Campo.
To learn more about these issues, visit the 350 Stevens Point Facebook page.
This past Saturday, one of the biggest events on campus took place in the form of the 46th Annual International Dinner. Over 400 people attended the dinner, including UWSP faculty, staff, and students. SPTV's Chris Watkins has more.
UWSP's International Dinner combined the worlds of many different countries once again and received rave reviews.
Women's International Dinner is one of my highlights of the school year. Last year was our first year, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to try and come all the rest of the years I'm here at Stevens Point. And this whole experience is just amazing.
The multicultural extravaganza provided a wide variety of international cuisine, complete with appetizers, a main dish, and of course, dessert. The entertainment, highlighted by numerous performances and a quality MC tandem, capped off the evening.
It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was nice to interact with people behind the scenes and seeing them, before they get on stage, getting excited and feeling that rush of adrenaline. It was really also nice to see the joy after they're done performing and seeing how they've accomplished something and they've shared something with the community. I also had a great audience, so I couldn't complain as an MC. It was a great night overall.
It's good to be able to see other cultural aspects and how that ties into hip-hop music and how that you can take from all these different cultures and include it in your music to make it fit and a liking to everyone's ear.
With the 46th installment in the books, the bar for the 47th Annual International Dinner has been set, and the anticipation is already building. For SPTV News, I'm Chris Watkins.
The success of yet another international dinner already has many anticipating the 47th installment next year. For more information on the International Club, be sure to visit their website.
Do you enjoy coffee? Do you enjoy learning about different types of cultural issues such as ethnicity, gender, religion, sexual orientation? Well, instead of listening to speakers talk about the subjects, consider speaking at the event. The Student Involvement and Employment Office is looking for student speakers who believe that they can bring a wide perspective to UWSP about a particular cultural issue. Coffee and Culture allows students to broaden their perspectives about a particular topic while interacting with those who share similar or differing views. Applications for fall are due by April 8th. To find an application, visit their website. Those chosen will be notified by April 22nd.
SIEO will be hosting one of their biggest volunteer events of the semester, partnering with multiple organizations like the Humane Society of Portage County, the Salvation Army Hope Center, and more. UWSP students have the opportunity to gain volunteer experience while helping the community. SIEO will provide a free breakfast and free sunglasses to everyone who volunteers their time. The event takes place on Saturday, April 23rd from 10 to 1 p.m. and registration starts at 9:30.
Looking for a fun way to get outside and enjoy the weather this spring? Entertainment Production will be hosting UWSP's very first color run on April 30th for participants who really want to show their colors. Kyle Galloway has more on the story.
Be sure to mark your calendars and stretch your quads for a good cause. There is an upcoming Color for Kids 5K taking place right here on your UWSP campus, and Jacqueline Freeberg, the Special Events Coordinator for Entertainment Productions, explains exactly what that means.
So this year on April 30th, we are doing with the Children's Miracle Network a Color for Kids 5K, and it's to raise money for children in central Wisconsin to help them pay for their medical bills. It'll start and end in the Sundial. It'll go down Isidore and Reserve Street, and it'll also go through Schmeekley Reserve.
For a small fee, you can buy a day of fun, food, exercise, and above all, help for a sick child and their families.
An adult ticket is $35. The first 200 participants also get a free t-shirt, and everyone will get a goodie bag. And then at the end of the race, Toppers has donated tons of pizza for everyone, and there's also bananas and water.
While you may not see Usain Bolt lining up to speed through these clouds of color, it never hurts to be prepared for the slightly over 3-mile stretch.
It's a walk-run, so you don't have to be an athlete to do it by any means. You can walk, you can dance, you can crawl, you can run it, whatever you'd like to do. But drink a lot of water, get plenty of sleep, and just, have an attitude that's ready to have some fun.
With so many great and fun aspects of this event to be appreciated, though, one stands alone.
So the best part about participating in Color for Kids is, besides being thrown with color and everything and getting some fun exercise in the morning, is definitely seeing how it impacts families locally. There will be families there that are miracle families who have been helped by the Color for Kids events.
Registration for this event will start at 8:30 a.m., runners will start at 10 a.m., and walkers will start at 10:20 a.m. To close this event with a colossal collision of color, there will be a grand finale color throw at 11:15 and a second at 11:30. All that's left to do is get out there and splash your spring with some color. For SPTV News with the how-to on shaking those winter blues, I'm Kyle Galloway.
A reminder that all the proceeds go to benefit the Children's Miracle Network for families right here in Stevens Point, and the first 200 applicants get a free t-shirt. For more information on volunteering or registering for the Color Run, visit Entertainment's webpage and come see me huff and puff my way to the finish line.
Have you ever wanted to visit New Zealand? Well, now is your chance. UWSP students have the opportunity to enroll in coursework specific to their major in New Zealand. The trip will also include multiple tours where students get the experience of a lifetime. They get to see the beauty of New Zealand and visit the set that was used in both Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. This is a 16-week program that can be taken in both spring and fall semesters. Dr. Anna Foster, a representative from the University of Canterbury, New Zealand, will be on campus April 12th from 10 to 11 a.m. in room 110 of the TNR and from 2 to 3 p.m. in room 111 of the CCC to talk about the coursework and answer any questions.
Well, Tuesday was a big day, but not only for UWSP, but for Wisconsin overall. SPTV's JJ Luther has a story on the Wisconsin primary.
This past Tuesday was the Wisconsin primary. UWSP students and the community of Stevens Point waited in long lines to cast their votes for who they think the best candidate is for president.
We were expecting that it would be a larger turnout than what we normally have for the nonpartisan elections, but we were not expecting anything close to the number of students who showed up.
I went around campus and asked students why they think voting is important.
It is like our civil duty to be able to vote, express it, and especially with the candidates out there right now, you really do need to have your vote. Every vote matters. It's such a close call in both the Democratic and Republican parties right now, so I just feel like it's important to do it, get your opinion out there.
Everyone's opinion matters, and your voice can only be heard if you put your voice out there.
A lot of students might have been able to vote in 2012, but obviously there was already an incumbent from one side and a challenger from the other. And so I think this was the first time that they got to have a say at the beginning of who was going to be the candidate and who was going to be the nominee for each party. And I think that probably had a big influence because they've never been able to experience that before.
For students who aren't so sure about the candidates, some are researching them to find out who they think is best fit for president.
And then how do you feel about the candidates overall?
I don't feel too much about the candidates. So actually, I'm going to use this one website. It's called like isidewith.com to kind of figure out what I want to, who I would actually vote for, I guess, because I don't really know who I would vote for at this point because I haven't really dug into it yet.
For SPTV News, I'm JJ Luther.
The Wisconsin primary resulted in Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders winning for each party. This was an important win for both candidates because it's one step closer to bridging the gap between them and the front runners. Well, Jen, how did your voting experience go?
I actually ended up missing my public relations class because I thought that it would take a lot shorter of a time waiting in line, but it ended up lasting a lot longer, but it was definitely worth the wait. I'm glad that I got the opportunity to vote.
How long did you wait in line?
About an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was sitting in class because I'm not an American citizen, so I don't have the opportunity, but one day, hopefully one day.
Continuing Education is hosting a motivational coaches workshop. April's speaker will be Associate Professor Kristen Neff, who teaches in the English Psychology Department of the University of Texas at Austin. She will be lecturing on self-compassion, which involves treating ourselves kindly and learning to deal with the inevitable struggles of a life in a mentally healthy way. This workshop will help provide simple tools for responding in kind, compassionate way whenever you or someone you know is experiencing painful emotions. The workshop will take place on April 29th at 9 a.m. and go until 4 p.m. The cost for a UWSP student is $25, and for the general public, the cost is $139.
SIEO is looking for volunteers for Sunday, April 10th to participate in the last Relaxing with Residents program for the month. The program consists of students having the opportunity to visit the North Haven Assisted Living Home and bond with the elderly. Volunteers spend a few hours with the residents participating in activities such as arts and crafts, bingo, and having time to simply chat or read a book. It's just like spending time with your grandparents. To apply or for further details, please visit the SIEO website.
As part of Pride Week 2016, the Gender Sexuality Alliance will be bringing in guest speaker TJ Jorian, who will be presenting on culture as an iceberg and the construction of masculine and feminine genders. TJ is a pansexual queer Middle Eastern Armenian trans man who is social justice activist and an educator in Chicago. The presentation will take place on Wednesday, April 13th at 7 p.m. in the Dreyfus University Center in the Laird Room. It is free for students and the general public.
Centertainment Production is hosting a trip to Milwaukee to attend a Brewers game later this month. The Milwaukee Brewers will be playing against the Miami Marlins at Miller Park. The game is on Saturday, April 30th and will begin at 6:10 p.m. The bus will leave at 3 p.m. and plans to be back by 11:45 p.m. Tickets are on sale through the information and ticket desk at the DUC.
That's all we have for the news today. Jostun Pomplun has the latest in sports when we return.
Reporting for SPTV, I'm Rachael Ellis.
Noble Ruck. Ben Zatuni.
Milica Mitrovic.
Jen Richardson.
Sarah Burkhardt.
Nathan Hansen.
Nicole Pfeiffer. JJ Luther.
I'm Chris Watkins.
Want to see a news show from behind the scenes? Feel free to stop by the studio to check out SPTV News on Thursdays at 5 p.m. We're always looking for more volunteers both on air and off to join our team. Stop by room 118 and 130 in the Communications Arts Center if you'd like to learn more about it or just to say hello.
The UWSP baseball team won 3 of 4 games this past weekend by splitting with St. Norbert and sweeping Ripon. Against the Green Knights, Mark Kowalski pitched a 3-0 shutout before the Pointers themselves got shut out 2-0. Against Ripon, the Pointers collected 24 hits in the sweep, with Ray Greco going 5 for 5 with 2 RBIs in Game 2. The Pointers' season continues when they play doubleheaders at Whitewater on Saturday and Sunday. The Pointers softball team traveled to Luther on Sunday for a doubleheader, where they were shut out in each game 10-0 and 8-0. The Pointers hit the field for the first time at home on Saturday when they host a doubleheader against Platteville, weather permitting. First pitch is scheduled for 1 p.m. UWSP is celebrating D3 Week from April 4th through the 10th, recognizing student athletes for their dedication to academics, athletics, and the community. UWSP Athletics, along with the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, held a lip-sync battle on Tuesday night between different teams. The volleyball team took home the victory, with softball taking second place and track and field coming in third. The Villanova Wildcats are NCAA basketball champions after defeating the North Carolina Tar Heels 77-74. Marcus Page hit an off-balance three-pointer for the Tar Heels to tie the game with 4.7 seconds left, but Villanova's Chris Jenkins hit the game-winning three at the buzzer for the Wildcats' first championship since 1985. On the women's side, the UConn Huskies won their 4th consecutive title and completed their 6th undefeated season in school history. The Milwaukee Brewers began their season this week, losing 2 out of 3 against the San Francisco Giants. The Brewers lost 12-3 on opening day before bouncing back to win the third game of the series 4-3. This weekend, the Brewers host the Houston Astros for a 3-game series. Over the break, the men's hockey team was in Lake Placid, New York to try and take home the D3 Hockey National Championship. After 2 runner-up finishes, they finally succeeded.
The third time was a charm for the UWSP men's hockey team as they beat St. Norbert 5-1 in the national title game. Coach Chris Brooks was proud of how the team adjusted after losing All-American Joe Kalas in the title game, and he was also proud of how hard the team battled this season.
Until you actually start counting the clock down, you really don't think about it. So, just really proud of a lot of guys battled through a lot of injuries, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of up and downs through the season. It's great to see them rewarded.
It was important to send out the seniors on top. Coach Brooks knows that a lot of other people deserve credit too.
It's gratifying to send them out, but there's also a lot of people. We had 7 seniors graduate last year that played a part in this success.
The goalie situation was unclear going into the season. Max Milosic developed into the starter the team needed.
I thought he was good. Those nights where he wasn't at his best, we were really good in front of him. And those nights where we might have had some lapses, he was there for us. And that's what a team's all about. It was great to see his development throughout the season.
While the team was focused on the goal at hand, this championship was a different experience than the ones in the past.
Just be able to go through the museum and meet people, and the whole banquet was different. For us, it wasn't a pleasure trip going out there. It was a business trip for us, and as you can see how we prepared and how detailed we are, we were pretty focused on what we needed to do to be successful.
The road to a national title was tough, but being prepared and focused on the task at hand paid off.
We got to win 6 or 7 games to win a national championship now, and all those games have to be won on the road. It was a tough path, and our guys were just prepared. They were focused. They were detailed, they were committed, and I think they executed the game plan and as importantly, competed harder than our competition.
For SPTV Sports, Ben Zatuni.
The Pointers begin their title defense next year with their first home game on Friday, October 28th. Last Thursday, a rally was held in the Berg Gym to honor the hockey team and Logan Hermson's D3 Wrestling Championship. Scholar Athlete Award winners were also recognized at the event. SPTV's Nathan Hansen has the story.
A celebration was held on March 31st in the Berg Gym to honor the recipients of the National Athlete Award, Men's Hockey's D3 National Championship, and Logan Hermson's D3 Wrestling Championship at 165 pounds. Interim AD Frank O'Brien handed out the Scholar Athlete Awards to Kat Nagello, Kyle McNair, Jared Cust, Stephen Palkoffer, and Evan Dixon. Tom Weaver was the night's master of ceremonies that included speeches from Chancellor Bernie Patterson, men's hockey head coach Chris Brooks, men's hockey senior captain Evan Dixon, wrestling head coach Johnny Johnson, and even the Stevens Point mayor, Mike Wiesa, made a proclamation.
I now, therefore, Mike Wiesa, mayor of the city of Stevens Point, do hereby proclaim today, Thursday, March 31st, 2016, as University of Wisconsin Stevens Point Pointers Day. and in the city of Stevens Point, and I encourage all citizens to join in celebrating this accomplishment.
The night's events also include a question and answer session, which saw funny answers from both coaches and athletes. Hockey championship t-shirts, hats, and game-used pucks were also being sold. All championship merchandise can also be bought at matacustom.com. Players from the hockey team also stayed after to sign autographs of pictures taken from the championship game. The event was a huge success, and hopefully it can become a yearly event. Reporting for SPTV Sports, Nathan Hansen.
2 national championships don't happen very often, but with the direction Pointer Athletics is headed, there might just be another rally sooner than you think. Well, 3rd time's the charm, huh? They made it the past 2 years. Can they make it again?
I believe in them. I've been watching them since my freshman year of college, so they're fun to watch.
Yeah, it's great to see another Pointer win. Yeah, I'm just really excited that they got a championship.
Yeah, about those championships. We had the men's basketball last year, hockey this year, plus wrestling, so who knows what's next.
Maybe football.
Up next, Justine Luther has your latest in SPTV Entertainment News.
Laid a lot of memories down like tattoos on this town. You will always be my sweetheart. There'll be no sunshine if I lose you, baby. There'll be no clear skies if our love's insanity. Why are you my clarity? If those new
All of the music's here on PMTV Late Night. Catch PMTV running all night long only on SPTV.
Let's have a party. Let's have a party.
Like to talk about sports? Join Final Take every Tuesday at 4 p.m. At Final Take, anything Pointers, anything sports.
Serving a campus of 9,600 strong. We are the home of UWSP television. We are SPTV. You can find us on Charter Channel 983, online, or on any of our social media sites.
And now, Justine Luther with your latest in SPTV Entertainment.
As spring rolls around, it's that time of the year again. April 15th through the 17th marks the 47th annual 90FM Trivia Competition, which is the largest trivia contest in the world. Each year, thousands participate in the contest as they gear up to win a trophy and the ultimate bragging rights. Each hour, 8 questions will be asked, and the teams have up to 2 song lengths to call in an answer and be awarded points. This year's theme is It's Not Your Father's Contest. Marks a throwback to the era of vintage American cars. The event will kick off with a parade around the Stevens Point campus, and the first question will be asked at 6 p.m. on the 15th. To register, teams must go to the 90FM station from 3 to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday of this next week, or they have until 6 p.m. on April 15th. It's $30 per team to register. The money from trivia will go towards the maintenance of 90FM as well as scholarships for their staff members. To find out more information, visit 90fmtrivia.org. Entertainment Cinema will be showing the 2016 Independent Award-winning film Tangerine. This film takes place on Christmas Eve in Tinseltown, where the protagonist, Cindy, has just been released from jail and heard that her boyfriend has been cheating. Joined by her best friend, Alexandra, the pair embark on a thrilling adventure to find the truth. This film stars newcomer Maya Taylor, who has become the first trans woman to win a major acting award. Tangerine has also been voted number 11 in the top 30 LGBT films of all time in the British Institute's poll of world cinema. The film will be shown on Friday, April 8th from 7 to 8:30 at the DUC Theater. The second annual photography contest is going on right now. Noble Rundman has more.
The photography contest at UWSP is accepting submissions. Jacob Anderson, the leader of the contest and the marketing intern for facility services, says the contest gives students a chance to leave something behind at UWSP.
The photography contest was started to give on-campus students the opportunity to kind of leave their mark here. I know me being somebody who's about to graduate, you kind of spend so much time here, you put your heart and soul into your work, and then you leave and you feel like Stevens Point is with you, but there's not really a piece of you here.
Anderson says that the main goal of the contest is to represent UWSP.
We like it to represent UWSP, so generally that means on-campus or on-campus field trips, anything that can directly relate back to Stevens Point. But other than that, it's kind of up to everybody's interpretation of the theme that we have each year.
The contest had many participants last year, and a large turnout is expected again.
One of the requirements to submit is that you have to like our Facebook page, because we have people submit their photos by messaging it to our Facebook page. And it's exciting to see the interest there, because we've had, I think, since we announced the contest last Monday, we've already had just under 100 new likes onto the Facebook page. So that's really exciting to see, because then we know that people are interested, they're going to be engaged, and hopefully submit eventually.
The theme for the contest this year is UWSP is, with students using pictures to fill in the blank. For SPTV, I'm Noble Rundman.
Submissions for the photography contest are being accepted until April 22nd. Entertainment Productions will be hosting a drive-in movie night for UWSP students, but it may not be what you're expecting. In place of having real cars, students get to make their own cars out of cardboard, and the best car will win a prize. Entertainment will be showing the drive-in classic Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and will provide snacks including popcorn, corn dogs, and more. This event will take place on Saturday, April 9th at 8 p.m. in the Encore Room of the DUC. Students can get in for free with a student ID, but $5 without one. UWSP's Gender and Sexuality Alliance will be hosting a zombie-themed dance called Prom of the Dead. GSA encourages people to dress as zombies or as a survivor. Students can come for free with an ID, or the cost is $5. This event will be held on Thursday, April 14th at 7 p.m. in the Alumni Room of the DUC. Get ready to channel your inner Sherlock Holmes as Entertainment Productions hosts Murder Mystery Dinner, Tara in a Toga. Participate in real-life game of Clue as you and your friends try to figure out who killed a fictional Roman character, all while enjoying a delicious meal. This event is open to all students and will take place at the DUC on Saturday, April 16th at 7 p.m. The cost is $3 for students with their IDs, or $8 without one. Space to the event is limited. Well, that is all the entertainment news we have for you tonight. SPTV will be right back after the break.
Are you interested in pursuing a career in animals, or just looking for a way to help preserve wildlife? Then the Wildlife Society might be just for you. As one of the largest organizations at UWSP, you will have your chance to help in projects that study and preserve animals, network with professionals, and meet like-minded people. Join us Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and join the Wildlife Society today.
Like to talk about sports? Join Final Take every Tuesday at 4 p.m. At Final Take, anything pointers, anything sports.
Excited for the upcoming trivia?
I'm excited for trivia. Not excited for losing sleep, though.
Same here. I am really excited, though. It'll be my first time being a part of it, as part of SPTV, so it should be a good time.
What about you, Jostun?
No, not really. I got a nice break. I got to watch doubleheader softball games Saturday and Sunday during it. So, and then work here on Friday, Saturday. So, busy weekend.
Yeah,
It'll be fun doing it together.
Coffee will be our best friends all weekend, guys.
Most definitely.
Well, that's all we have for you this week in SPTV. Due to our involvement in trivia, we will not be having news next week because we got to catch up on sleep, you know? And make sure you keep yourself updated on SPTV social media pages. Until next time, Stevens Point, have a great night.